Welcome to the first of a series of many LittleHorse tutorial videos. This is straight from my desk to yours, developer to developer, no nonsense or anything like that. In this first video, what we're going to do is just install LittleHorse onto a system for local testing and local development. And it's a very, very quick and easy process. It takes two things in order to get the system running. Number one, you need the command line client, and number two, you need the LittleHorse server running in a Docker container. And all we're going to do today is just configure install the command line and get it to be able to talk to the LittleHorse server running locally in Docker. So all of the instructions are here on the LittleHorse tutorials repo, which is going to grow every time we make a YouTube video. This is the first of many, and there's going to be many folders here. We're working on the Java Quick Start, but so first thing we need to do is install the LittleHorse command line. This can be done in two ways. You can use Homebrew, and that's a package manager for Mac and Linux, or you can use Go. And if you have Go, you can just Go install and then the repo. So I will prove to you I do not have LHCTL installed. If I want to install LHCTL, all I do is I run this brew install command. Now, while this is running, let's explain what LittleHorse is. I'll do this in 30 seconds or less. LittleHorse is middleware software that sits kind of at the same layer as like a database or Kafka or Redis or something. It's not physical infrastructure, but it's also not an application. It's something that an application uses to configure its behavior. So you can see right here, there's the application layer on top, then there's the middleware layer, and then there's the physical layer below. It's not the OSI networking layer, that's the separate thing. So what is LittleHorse? It's a workflow engine. Basically, the way LittleHorse works is you define a workflow specification, which basically is a series of steps. So here we have a workflow with one step. There's an entry point, and then a step, which is execute a task called greet, and then an exit. This is a hello world workflow. So the first thing you do is you define your workflow specification. Then you define a worker, which can execute a task, and then you connect that task worker to LittleHorse. And then you run application. Then you run a workflow, and LittleHorse will dispatch work to the task workers. So that will make sense more in future videos. This was a very quick explanation because I want to keep the installation video very quick. So the next thing we want to do, now that we have LittleHorse control installed, we can verify that by running LittleHorse control, and now we see that it's installed. The next thing we want to do is get the LittleHorse server. So, if you contact LittleHorse, you can get a private sandbox running in the cloud, which is production ready. If you want to do some engineering yourself, you can take the LittleHorse official Docker container, which is production ready, and connect it to your own Kafka cluster. But the easiest way to get it running is one command where we use our standalone image, which has all of the LittleHorse dependencies packaged up in one Docker image. This is for local development, not for production. You can run that Docker image locally. So we're going to run it, and it takes a couple minutes it takes about 20 seconds to start up because we first start the dependencies and then we start LittleHorse itself. But I will note that there is on the AWS ECR gallery, there is a LittleHorse LH server image, which is a production ready distribution of LittleHorse, which can be run run in production, but you need to hook it up to Kafka, so it's a little bit more tricky to get that running. This is open source, free for production use. Now, if we run LHCTL search workflow spec, this is basically asking LittleHorse, hey, show me all of the workflow specifications that have been registered with you. That is LHCTL search workflow spec. So we run this command. Now we see that we have no workflow specifications registered. Let's also search for task definitions. To search for task definitions, it's LHCTL search task def, and also we get no results, which is correct because we haven't yet deployed anything. So in the next video, we're going to deploy a tasked worker using LittleHorse, and then in the third video, we will deploy and run a hello world workflow specification with LittleHorse, this one I showed right here.